about my sweat equity.
Good.
Sweat equity. My sweat equity. My sweat equity.
Howdy, Toddy.
What about my sweat equity?
I need to thank the host of the CBS Fantasy Focus Baseball podcast for sending me that drop from one of their hosts.
What?
Heath Cummings. So they have, he just makes some very obviously unique
name.
size. And I hit up the host, and he sent me the MP3 drop. So thank you, Adam Azer, CBSI,
Wow. That's
Fantasy Focus Baseball.
that
Got
is-
me diamond level in Yahoo. Don't forget.
Yeah. Do you wear that diamond around your neck around
Yes.
town?
Yeah. Big time.
Diamond level baseball.
I don't ever
fantasy
forget to
baseball.
mention it.
That's good company. That's way too good a company for us. Speaking of which, same with our guest, professional writer. You've seen her on BuzzFeed, Thrillist,
Travel
and
and Leisure.
you got to get in that mic a little bit more.
Am I in there?
You're
Yeah,
in it
Liz-
now.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Liz Newman, power writer,
I like that.
and friend of the program. Liz, what's up?
Hey.
Hey. Hashtag y'all. We're on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. But what we want you to do is hook up that review, 5-star us, write a little sentence in there, and then subscribe to the podcast. That literally takes 69 seconds. You give us a review, screen cap it, send it to us, be it whatever social media, send it to us. And if we see it, Eric and I will give your brand, whatever it is, we'll both give you a review.
Yeah. Two for
Yeah.
one.
So we shouldn't. I mean, it's technically.
I don't understand what the problem is, people.
We're getting a couple more.
Oh,
the
okay.
hashtag is.
Oh, do I have a list I need to get to then?
our hashtag
review list?
Not. We've got it for another episode when we got no guest, I think. But
Okay. Yeah.
hashtag 69B2B. It's about reciprocating that love. And as always, we like to do the hashtag girthy ROI for this podcast
Holy
because
shit, I thought you were kidding about that.
no.
Oh no.
Our lane is immature humor meets actual business advice. That not this motivational, like you gotta be who you think you are, and then that's how you succeed. Like I don't think that's helpful. Like how about this? If you're writing blog content, by the way, you still need to do that. If you have a digital you have a website, whatever, everyone will talk you out of blogs. They'll be like, shit's boring. No one reads that shit anymore. It's not true. That's actually false, and that's their own projection of them not wanting to.
It doesn't even matter if nobody reads it. It's how Google checks if you're updating your website.
Exactly. It's not the point.
And it doesn't. It's for the computers.
So 94% of
Computer
all
Computers are reading it.
94% of all organic searches are done on Google, so they dictate the market. What does Google want you to do? They want you to be a fucking content maker. And so here's the parameters. Here's what you want. You want 350 words minimum, but better if you're over 500.
Yes.
An easy way to break out, and this is more of a writing thing. Liz can tell me yay or nay. As far as I haven't done like formal writing in a long time. Like,
Did you used to do it?
no, I like writing, and I've actually started writing a bunch more lately. And it's helping me write some bad jokes and stuff. But just break it down. But I would get overwhelmed by thinking about writing and then not writing. Right.
That happens to me every day.
Right. So I just started doing. But then
Yeah.
I was like, just get kind of like a format. Like if you do a joke, it'll be da-dun, 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 punchline, right?
Yeah.
And then if you need tags, the rule of threes.
Or even before your life format, like I right after I drink my coffee, I go over and I do this. Boom.
yeah.
You don't even think about it. Don't think about it. That's
Check
just,
my
just be
fantasy
the robot.
baseball league. Uh-huh.
Right. Still in last place. Good to know.
And then, like, all right, so I've been writing, been dictating, taking that, writing that out a little bit, but just do 1, 2, 3 points, and then write a little paragraph about what you're going to talk about, then close it with whatever secret call to action you got. That's kind of easy, right? That's an easy kind of setup. Frame?
Are you talking about for joke writing or content writing?
Content writing.
Yeah, I think with content writing, there tends to be a bit more of a formula to it. But we were just talking about that earlier because the last podcast I was on, we're talking about how to create content that doesn't seem super promotional. It still seems something like organic and editorial you want to share. But there's always going to be a little bit more formula, like you said, the meat, the call to action, and things like that to make people interested.
Yeah, like the stuff I'm writing about is almost the exact same stuff. Either I'm trying to write it before we're doing an episode in here, or it's something we've already talked about in here, and it's not in text form yet. And so the idea is to go, hey, here's when you do your headlines, Eric has figured out how to game the system. If anybody's ever wondered why our titles are so long,
or why I'm putting a celebrity in every title with a movie. It's just to hack the computers, baby.
So there's a site, what is it? Share through, and it gives you it'll give you a PDF of all the action verbs and all the like good words to use that create arousal. But
they're called context words.
Context words.
They have a context word dictionary on the site.
But if you're writing something, right, you're getting your coffee shop off the ground. You're getting a blog rolling about it. You can put the headline of what that blog post is, and it'll give you a score. And so why we have a celebrity in every title is because to get to 100, to get to the best SEO for that title.
Yeah, you got to throw a celebrity's name in there. People want to know about the celebrity, and it's not just famous people. It's got to be the top celebrities.
Yeah.
Like, Joe Madden, manager for the Chicago Cubs, wouldn't work.
Yeah, but
tried it.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
He's a huge.
Somehow, I didn't know how big he was. I was like, oh, he made it on our title.
Yeah.
He's pretty big,
He's
I guess.
pretty big. But
Elon Musk, things like that.
Yeah, I don't even know if Elon's big enough.
President Obama? I don't know.
Obama probably would work. A president works.
But don't use Barry. That would be bad.
Okay.
But, so that's like, you have to figure out the math. There's a math, and it's more math to me to do the continuous content writing, for marketing purposes, right? Like, you got to get this amount of words. It doesn't even matter if it reads very well, because all you care about is it being indexed mostly by all these search by the crawlers.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I learned in journalism school that still applies to writing today is don't bury the lead. I think that should always be high up. I mean, in my own long form feature writing for some of these travel pieces, when they're personal stories, that's the only real exception because I'm kind of setting a scene. But otherwise, not burying the lead in content writing and in most just writing in general is important. I mean, people are just too ADD to read, period. So if you don't get to the point fast enough, you're already losing your audience in a lot of ways.
It's a 5-paragraph essay.
Yeah, remember that
like
shit?
Thesis
statements?
It's amazing how these things actually work. There's a reason why they taught it to you.
There's some things that have held the test of time.
Yeah.
That's true. But God, those thesis statements,
yeah.
I don't know if those used to stress me out.
You squeeze that in there in that first paragraph.
I forget you're a grammar nerd as well. I forget you're
in good company.
I'm not a nerd about it.
I'm a total nerd about it.
I mean,
no, it's a good skill because I'm like, oh man, I don't even know how to Google how to fix this sentence sometimes.
It's not. I mean, it's just one of those things that's I've just naturally I'm good at grammar. No, it's. I mean,
there's no.
I hate to say it that way, but I just can. I don't know. I've stored away all the rules for some stupid reason.
Was your grammar corrected as a kid a lot? I'm convinced that makes a difference. Mine was constantly.
I don't recall. I don't think of my parents being that way. Although I do hear my mom with my kids, her grandkids, and she does kind of push that a little bit. So maybe, and I just blocked it out. I think
it kind of sinks into you more than you think. My
Probably.
mom constantly did it. I mean, to the point where I just kind of made me really mad for a long time. But
why? Like what rule?
Just I'm Marjorie and me are going to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Marjorie and I are going to the movies. I said me and Marjorie, or me and whoever. That's wrong. And the whom's, she did that a lot, and just everything. And it's really paid off in the end.
Well, I mean, I think we have to keep these rules if we just let everybody talk however they. I mean, there has to be something to hold on to because, lit AF period as a sentence.
Yeah.
That's going to be passed now, and it's just we're going to lose the whole language if we don't keep some rules. in place.
That's the thing. It doesn't even really apply that much to content writing anymore. People talk in bullet points, and actually in some ways should, because people's attention spans are so short. Like my MLA style writing handbook, that should stay on the shelf. It would not even apply now. And that's kind of sad in a little bit of a way that people aren't writing but to adjust to the way writing is now for the web, you have to kind of be almost choppy, which is what you were taught not to do when we were growing
Let's
up.
face it, most people are reading this on the toilet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, that's the test I say with everybody. If I'm making a landing page for someone, a client, I go, does it pass the toilet test? Like if it's too complicated or too much, if it doesn't get to the point, it's not a good landing page. Because if you're just think about you sitting on the toilet, thumbing through, oh, this looks interesting, and then go down. All right, would it keep your attention for that half second that you click over to that?
And even notice a lot of big like Business Insider and the Daily, they have all the bullet points for their story at the very top though, and like at the same time, it's actually kind of genius. I will skim that. If none of those bullet points grab me, I don't want to read the story.
Or like a table of contents for the
No, it's just like
article?
It's like a little summary. It's like here are the 5 main things we're covering in this article. Like boom, boom, boom. Business Insider does it for every piece they put out, and like I actually kind of like it. It's just a quick way for me to be like, here's the meat of the story. Does it catch me? I'm gonna keep reading. I mean, I think also I read more than most people, but I
read beyond the headline.
I read, yes. That's the other thing. Almost everyone only reads a headline now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you see an article on Facebook, that preview link, that is how people are getting their news, from that headline without even reading the story.
I definitely fall for that.
Everyone does, but it's just.
But I know on the
that's
advertising
scary.
side, since I got into the online ad game like 10 years ago, something like that, 9 years ago, that most of it was the image in the headline.
Yeah.
And I know that. I knew the like math behind it. I knew that 90% was the image at that point and 10% was the headline of it. And it's still kind of that way. I'd say the headline's probably a little bit weighted more now, but when people are throwing fun facts out there in the headline, and then you read it and it's like, oh, well, it's not really a fact. It's just an exclamation of a statement or something like that. I don't know.
Exaggeration.
Yeah, but like BuzzFeed has a tone of or Deadspin or Jezebel, I would say, even better. They have a tone of like opinion. This is what's going on, but it's not a fact.
They speak with authority in a sense.
Right.
They are like.
But you read it, it's like, oh wait, that's the opinion.
You need to read this. You need to. It's like they're commanding you in a sense where they're not giving you the information. I mean, it's pure clickbait, and it's purest form because you're just like, I need to know what this is.
I know it's clickbait. I'll still click on it.
And I trust this source because I read it. And like, they're telling me this is important, and I believe it. And they don't give you. I mean, that's what makes you actually click, which is the whole point. That's what they want. That's what they're reading all the. When I was in BuzzFeed for a little bit, they have stats. I don't know if this is a case. They just have stats above you of how many articles yours gets clicked. How much? It's just like a little ticking.
You get paid.
Absolutely, it's like
click.
old school working on commission.
Oh, that's intense.
It's fucking
Jesus.
scary. And
that's all the big media.
It was like that when I was
companies
at Thrillist after a while too. I mean, like it's all about your shares, your engagement. No one even cares if you get. Let's say that one article I wrote won a James Beard Award, but it got shit shares. What do you think is more important now? And that's
James Harden Beard.
Who the hell's
Award?
James Beard?
You guys, you really don't read.
We read a lot.
We read things.
We're more talky people.
I'm talky.
We like to gab like gals. That's why we have you on.
Yeah, part of that
Feels like brunch.
share through website.
Rodeo.
It's like, why are you not using scary words? Why are you not saying afraid and risk and all these things? You have to scare the shit out of these people, or they're not going to click on it.
Why are you not like Vice from 2013?
Right.
I mean, that's how every Vice
It is
article
sort of
was.
scaring people into it in a sense. That's actually well put. It's like how people used to. I mean, it's like scaring people into believing something.
Yeah. Well, people want to cover their bases.
Yeah.
I don't want to be left out on that, and then I'm the idiot who missed out on that hurricane that was coming or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's about fear. Like I
didn't know the 11 best things to get on Prime Day.
Right.
What are those?
Oh, I already bought them all.
Corsage.
At least they told you what to buy.
I mean, I read
Condoms?
those articles were smart because
Dip?
it's overwhelming. I'm like, what are the best deals? I actually want to know that. That was utilitarian to me. I read all of those, at least the ones that apply to me, like on refinery. I want to know all the best girly
Refinery 29.
girly face serums I can get for cheap.
It's the same as like the fish of the day is the fish that they're trying to move. That's just about
I
to
know.
go bad.
I was a total sucker, you
Yeah.
guys.
Amazon just is like, here, we'll tell them it's on sale,
I
and
was just the biggest sucker reading it. I fell for it hard, and now I have a giant Prime box the size of this table in my house.
For what? For what is this?
I mean,
What'd you buy?
I bought a Dutch oven, and I know what you're gonna say. Okay, it was a mature adult.
I
Dutch
didn't even
oven.
know that. I thought that was like a fake thing.
I did too.
No one pulled a sheet over me and farted into it. Okay, it's a real cooking device.
And then laughs hysterically. You forget that
I
part.
laughed when I opened it,
Did it
How do you get
smell
the
like a
farts
fart?
into the
Yeah.
real oven?
Yeah, do you fart into the top of it?
and then you
Is there a
close
vent?
it, and it bakes, and all of a sudden you open it, and a fucking pie is right there. Yes.
Fart pie?
Food's horrible.
What is a Dutch oven? Is it like a? All I imagine now is an easy bake oven.
It's just kind
Made
of
out
like
of
that.
gingerbread.
Like a teeny tiny oven
It's just an easy
You
bake
have to wear
oven
clogs.
made out of cast iron. You can put
that
it
you
together.
fart into.
That you fart into, and it bakes stuff for you. It's magical.
What do you put in Pop Tarts? Is all I can
A
think.
lot of Pop Tarts, maybe even toaster strudels. I mean, if you really want to
Whoa.
get fancy.
Whoa, whoa! I didn't know you were that
You
fancy.
can put anything
I didn't know
in
you were
there.
middle class fancy.
Middle class fancy.
Best
Yes.
Instagram account online. Have you ever looked at it?
No, I have not.
It's all about.
The best?
I think it's the
Yeah, that's
funniest.
some.
It's the
ballsy
funniest to
talk.
me because the guy just pulls like stock photos of like corny like business stock photos
Uh-huh.
of guys, and then like catches just older white people doing the boring old white people thing, like, and he calls them Rand and Nance. Rand and Nance are getting crazy on
I'm
Margs.
gonna follow them.
It's so funny, and just a lot of Chili's humor. Going to
Ah.
Chili's,
A lot
Okay.
of Chili's humor.
Yeah.
What is Chili's humor?
going to Chili's, man. Just a lot of Chili's references. I'm not really selling it that well. I kind of petered out on that.
Must be all in the pictures.
Yeah,
why
well,
it's
yeah,
on
it's an
Instagram
Instagram.
and-
I don't. The captions aren't really. They
Wow,
help.
did such a beautiful job describing your Instagram
But
page to me.
You have to bring it up because there's one guy that
Chili's
he
is
uses.
very Instagrammable.
He uses all the time, like I'm the silly guy in the office, that kind of guy.
Uh-huh.
No
Go
wonder
ahead.
you like
That's
him
it.
Go
so
ahead.
much.
Oh, that
But
was
he has
it.
a weird smile. I just look at it. you
No.
know? Oh, okay.
No,
I'd rather just make fun of
Good rule. No phones out.
Yeah.
I didn't even open
How
mine.
dare you?
Hey, I was gonna look up your account.
Face down.
I can't. I broke it.
Oh,
Yeah, I need to go to those.
with a case.
No, I took the case off for a week. Let this be a lesson to you. Don't do
Why were
that.
you raw dogging?
Because I got a new case and then I just didn't put it on. Look, you
Oh,
also-
that's the worst.
You,
You
can
can't
take
go.
a
It
reservation.
only takes one time, and I mean this in everything. If you break your case, always wrap it up.
Pregnancies.
You're
Yeah.
one of the geniuses that has all their credit cards and license in the back of the phone too. You and my
That
wife
is-
should hang out.
That is correct.
Man,
Hope you don't lose that phone. That's all I'm saying.
I don't.
Everything is back here. It's actually really dumb.
Yeah. Plus, it doesn't stay level when you put it down. Like
Yeah.
I just feel like
looks
I
like
will
it's
You
like-
can't charge it
that.
by
Yeah.
putting it down on something.
It looks
with
like it's
that.
like I fallen and I can't get out. That
Oh, that's nice and easy. You're
Look at
taking the
this.
phone
Take
out
the
of the case now,
charge.
and then you break it.
taking that rubber.
This case did. I took the rubber off.
See,
and
I've
that's what
got
happened.
mine. I can charge it through the
It
case.
just feels better.
It really does.
Um,
Feels free.
what is this? What do you see with writing or journalism going on right now? Like, what bugs the shit out of you first?
What bugs the shit out of me
That's
is,
usually easier.
yeah. What bugs the shit out of me now is I don't think you really know what true journalism or stories are because so many of them are paid for. So many lists are like, what is
You mean a listicle?
well that or
That
even
never
just
caught
I
on.
mean, look, I'm not going to say who I've done this for, but I've written plenty of stories for big magazines that
The
are
Russians?
partnerships with people promoting a destination, promoting a
Putin?
place. And I've been there. It is an actual press trip,
The Black Sea?
but it's not. It's almost
Pushing these Russian
and I'm
ties.
giving my real opinion. And that's all real, but it's being paid for by their, visitors bureau or whatever. So it's like, is that real in a sense? I don't know. I just
It's
think
always
that
kind of been there, though. I mean, that's always kind of been there.
it's very there.
What
now.
about so when magazines started had the paid advertising
They're-
thing that looks like
But now
that
they're
looks like an
very
article?
They're very subtle. They used to be very clear. Advertorials were very clear.
advertorial? That's what
I don't.
Ah,
and
never
that's
heard that.
It's an antiquated term now because now it's just called content. 'Cause
Yeah. Which I
I
don't
mean-
I remember when we used to tell them the truth.
I mean, it's not like they're true, but it's just they're a little skewed. And here's a perfect example. I've written about 1 million food lists in my life, and probably the most of anything I've done, food or travel lists. those are mostly organic. But I have people who call me because the other side of the coin, I do people's social media.
Yeah.
And they'll call me up and they'll say, hey, we really want to put Hemingway's on the best Cuban sandwich list in Tampa. And I was like, great. I think it is the best Cuban sandwich. Okay, it's going to cost you $400 to be on this list. And then if you want to be on the next list. And I'm just like, so this is not a real list. Like the best Cuban sandwiches in Tampa, this is bullshit. This is like who's paying to be, and that's what I'm saying.
Are there any that are real?
It's pay to play.
That aren't pay to
I
play?
honestly don't think so anymore.
I think you got to find.
It's very hard to tell, and that's my point. And we're feeding people bullshit.
Right.
Like, how do you know if I Google best Cuban in Tampa or best something in Tampa? What real information am I getting? Even Yelp is complete crap. Like the people
Yelp jumped the shark.
That's what I'm saying. But that's one of the first things. Whatever crazy awesome coders they have, that's one of the first things that pop up. People still pay attention to that shit. I know because every restaurant client I had, every owner is obsessed with it.
Well, no, 5 years ago on the business side, they made your reviews. So if you had an account as a business owner on Yelp, they like divided your reviews up to what like good quality reviews and bad ones. And it was like, what? And so not whether you got.
You're talking about the quality of the review itself.
Right. Yeah. So if the reviewer, if the reviewer
legit.
was someone who reviews a lot, it's weighted better.
Yes.
Which makes sense
in theory,
but all they really trying to do is get the businesses to buy ads. So whenever you start a new business or Yelp will be on your nuts because they'll go $300. We'll give you free. they're like meth heads. They're like, hey, we're Yelp. We're not going under. We're fine. Don't worry about us. We'll give you $300
all the time.
I'll suck your dick right here.
My mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I just feel like I hate to use this term fake news, but there's just a lot of crap. And I don't know, even for myself, when I want to Google somewhere for a trip I want to go, I know as someone on the other side, is this a real list? Is this real information or is it paid for?
Even Reddit, which we like to, if you're kind of trying to really look up stuff, I know Eric and I both use it to try to find like real opinion, but that's even kind of compromised
It's just
too.
Too much bullshit. And the same with that's a recent thing that has really annoyed me lately. Why does everyone think they're an influencer now? Everyone,
because it's a cheat code.
It's unbelievable.
Because they think that's
when I went on.
That's like being famous.
The first thing that the first real hit me that did is when I did a press
middle
trip.
class famous.
I did a press trip to Hong Kong. This was a real trip. It wasn't a paid. I mean, it is paid for because they're sending you out there. There was only 2 other writers besides me on a 10-person press trip. Everyone else was an Instagram person. They were on this trip, this insane trip we went on just to post pictures. I saw people put in hair extensions while we're climbing up towards the Buddha. The whole thing is like she was to make her hair look prettier.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, that's kind of talented to me.
I mean, the pictures were beautiful, but even her hair doesn't look like this. Everything's fake.
In my head, she's on a rickshaw.
But
somehow
and that's what really hit me. But
Lit AF.
But at the same time, those things are what I understand why that works. I mean, I work in that field too. I understand that someone with 40,000 followers for a big travel account, at the end of the day, will probably get more play than my Thrillist story, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, as far as like it's not black and white with that anymore. Like a big Instagram following is more important to people because no one fucking reads.
Well, but influencer marketing is only it's talked about a lot. It's not as prevalent as we think.
People reach out to me all the time who have less followers than I do.
I want to say it's only like
and I'm like, am I an influencer? Like,
of paid kind of endorsements or whatever paid ads, it's only like 6% or something like that.
I just think it's become very broad and everyone thinks they are one. The same way when iPhones came out that like everyone's a cameraman now. I mean, it's made some things really easy and great. I use my own phone for every picture I take for clients, so that's great. But
yeah, if you get headshots, go to a fucking real photographer.
No, there's some things that are real camera you need to just spring it. Like absolutely you do. But everyone's an influence. It goes with that same theory. What is real? You know what I mean? Even what influencers are putting out.
It's just scary. Like what people want to be told what's cool and what to buy, but like this investigative journalist, like getting to the truth of things, like that seems like it's just the need or want for it is going away. Like people don't seem to care that they're getting told fake news.
Going away.
Like it's weird. It's just like, are we the only people who care if it's right or not?
No,
like,
or where this is coming from, or why this is on
why,
here.
Why is this a news story?
Yeah.
Wait,
no,
what?
I think
it's only going to get worse.
Everybody at this table, I think, thinks analytically about this stuff. Where I think a lot of people just float through life and just don't.
Majority of people just see the headline. Oh, I mean, like I said, I fell victim for it too on Amazon Prime Day. But I think
Yeah, but you get stuff back.
I do. I love
get
that
tangible
touch.
stuff.
And I love my toothbrush.
My lizard brain will go cool, and then you're like, "What's this?" And I'll check out stuff that I know is an ad working on me.
It's almost like we're all in like an episode of Walking Dead. Eventually, we're all gonna
get in that mic.
We're all gonna be like taken over by it. It's almost unstoppable. I mean, it's very hard to know what's real anymore. And I straddle both lines. Literally, I write for the press. Shut up. I write for the editorial. I do people's social media and content marketing.
I got
so
one
I
nipple
see it.
tassel on one on the other.
I got my hand on both ass cheeks, and let me tell you, it's confusing.
Yeah, and right in the middle, opening that asshole up. A lot of shit being stirred. So,
It's a big shitstorm. I mean that.
well, so my biggest thing lately is documentaries have really. Documentaries used to be like, all right,
Documenting things.
we will get all the facts, and then try to present this without angle, right?
Yeah.
And now they're set out with an angle, and if something else comes along, then they're
That doesn't
like,
make the movie.
right. Like
Not even the director's cut.
I've watched a lot of like bad. There's one about the cow farts screwing up the ozone.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the one that came to my mind too.
Yeah.
You watch that, you're like, is this right?
A lot of
That's
nutrition. ones.
crazy. And then it was like these guys are vegans pushing a vegan agenda or something, and they just wanted to get rid of meat eating.
Right, and so it has the same effect to a lot of articles I read, where now I have to do like, God damn it, now I have to look this study up they referenced,
Right.
because now I got to see where this study came from, and this study was like, oh, they only asked 60 people in Des Moines
Mm-hmm.
this question, so this study sucks. And then like now I'm fucking doing a book report for something I'm just reading.
I'm sorry, a book report?
Yeah, I'm doing the research.
Talk about MLA guidelines.
A book report.
I haven't heard that term in a while.
Well, it's just like
Get your
the amount of
worldly
work
wise
you
out.
have to do to
Worldly
get
wise.
facts
Yeah.
to find out if it's real or not. It's insane. Like to have to most of these studies that you see, it's like I'm gonna have to sit and read a scientific study, which is not fun.
No,
Like you can't just always just read the synopsis.
I do
or
feel
whatever.
superior though looking it up. I'm like, look at me.
Nobody else is doing
Yeah.
this.
I am that guy. I'm taking it the extra step.
Yeah,
I'm finding the truth.
sucks.
Yeah, there's that one good doc that was about the financial crisis, Inside Job, which I confused with Inside Man, which is that Clive Owen.
Bank robbing. movie.
Yeah. They came out at the same time. I was like, come on, guys. But Inside
And don't
Job
forget Inside Hand Job.
talks about how the financial
that
institutions
one about?
there's a trickle effect, basically relying on Harvard and all these institutions, academic institutions, for studies that are pay to play, kind of like the listicles. That if I look at those like PR, local PR, right? If I'm a PR company, I'm just trying to get you on. You're the 40 under 40 writers.
Or you have your own
in
magazine.
Florida, yeah, or you control, or you dictate your own media,
Right.
and you can put out whatever shit stirring story you want. ESPN like 6 years ago was like, oh, we're gonna make up an opinion, and then in a 24-hour cycle, that'll hit the AP and become a real story.
Yep. Gosh,
That was amazing. At one point,
the
I was
ape-
like,
yeah.
it was so terrible.
They're the worst. ESPN.
They made their own cycle of news off an opinion. It was crazy. So what else? What do you want to do? Like, where do you see going forward?
I want to write a book. I've been trying to write a book for like 10 years.
What
Might
kind of book?
Nonfiction or
I
fiction?
may have a possible book deal, but I can't. I don't want to spoil it.
Ooh.
I'm very excited.
Self-published.
Nonfiction. It is not self-published, but
There's no shame in
there is
self-publish.
no shame. Trust me, there's no shame in it. And I think that in some ways,
I want to collect all the episodes.
you
of
have
this
freedom if you self-publish.
I want to get someone to transcribe all these episodes of this, pull out all the nuggets, and then we
Print
self-publish.
it on toilet paper.
That too. But then we self-publish a book that way.
You should.
Why not?
Look at the 50
The hard
Shades
part-
chick.
We're
That was
authors.
Yeah, I know. Just to be able to say I'm an author.
Yeah, I wrote that kind of.
Yeah, I've got a book. Yeah,
That in my AI.
I want as many job titles in my Wikipedia eventually. Just author, self-publisher.
Do you have a Wikipedia page?
No. And my
Step one.
my dad's got
Get
one,
on Wikipedia.
and my friend changed it from 2 daughters and a son to 3 daughters.
Ah,
Oh.
That's
Shout out
good.
to John Jacobs. I thought it was funny.
That's good.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
Leave it. Don't change it.
But so book, but All right.
I mean,
let's
that's not.
let's talk book industry because that's crazy too.
It's so crazy, you
and
guys.
you pay to play. People are buying their own books just to get on. Like you can
pay to have your book.
You can find the cost benefit of getting on the New York Times bestseller
or Amazon promoting it highly.
Right. Or so you buy your own books instead. Like I've heard
know.
comics do this, then they try to sell those books back at the shows, which is kind of interesting.
That's the same thing. You're being pushed.
Because
what are you being pushed? Is that what you really be interested in? I mean, I've been buying books that have been pushed to me based on my interest that help me research for the book I'm writing, and I take that as, oh wow, they really know me. But like, is it just
or are they telling you who you are?
I know. Yes.
Am I? Is it?
Right.
That was very profound.
I
and
mean,
I know.
take a step back and be like, do I like this?
I know, but that kind of confusion and question is terrifying. Or how about I just mention the word trampoline and my fucking phone starts
Dude,
sending me pictures of trampolines?
They don't even try and hide it
They don't
anymore.
even try to
it's
hide it
so
anymore.
obvious. I'm so sick of it.
I am so sick
Let me
of
type it in myself.
Yeah, no, I mean, just talking about it, and they give it to me. So are these books being served to me because somehow they know I'm writing a nonfiction book similar to these topics? I mean,
but
am I
part
bugged?
of you is complicit in that.
Yes, we're
right?
all bugged.
Part of you is complicit in that. We all bitch about it, but no one really takes like the 1 minute. All it takes is like a minute to change your preferences. But we're kind of complicit because we kind of want some of that to come our way, right?
You know, I agree with that. And like some of these books I've been fed, I really enjoy. So it's not always a bad thing. It's just, like you said, is this what I want or what I'm being told I want? And
I'm getting fed Dutch ovens, and I'm like, God,
I
damn
really
it.
wanted that Dutch oven.
I've already farted under the covers.
I figured, you know what? I don't know when the fuck I'm getting married, so forget the wedding registry. I'm buying this thing.
Nice.
I still don't understand what the difference is.
Yeah,
We're actually that stupid. What is it?
Oh, a Dutch oven?
Yeah.
You guys really don't know what it is?
We really don't know. I'm not playing a character.
And we're
It's
not trying
basically
to.
a
Trying not
I'm
to
not a
look up
character.
while.
Do you know what a cast iron skillet is?
Yeah.
Okay. It's basically a pot version of that. It's a big cast iron pot that you can put in the oven safely. So if you bake any sort of soups or casseroles, they're really multifunctional.
I see.
They're extremely heavy. They're like heavy duty things, so you make big things in them. They're usually very expensive. And on Prime Day, I got this one for like $40.
Cauldron?
It is kind of cauldron-ish, actually.
Why is it? Oh, because it'll heat up. So if you put it under
completely
fire,
heat safe.
it would have
You
been.
can put it on a fire. You could throw that thing in a fire.
Yeah.
I
Just
mean,
take it
it's-
camping.
Yeah. No, you could. And
Newsflash, asshole!
That's our new 2-minute warning.
Oh, nice.
oh,
So, you
wow,
know.
I like that.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't heard any of the sound effects.
Look, it's going by so fast. I could just chat with you gals all day.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We're
it goes.
chatty.
It goes by quick.
It really does.
But what you have you have an open invite. Anything you just like. Hey, I'm pissed about this.
I will
wanna
remember
come on."
that.
We don't always get this good of info,
I
all
would
the
love.
time.
I get mad about things all the time. I'll just
I
come
know.
in.
That's why we hang out. We do bitch sesh.
It's most of
every
our
time we hang
content.
out.
That's
Bitching.
our content.
Yeah.
Have a bitch in summer.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Oh, is that our campaign for the summer?
We used to go to middle school
you a
together,
writer?
so that's like yearbook sign-offs.
Was it?
Yes, remember like have a bitch in summer? That's like a cool thing to say.
I would never write that down on
I
paper.
did.
I
I
think I
wrote
would
it
get in
down.
You get in trouble?
You were like afraid of getting in trouble a lot.
Yeah,
I was not.
You can say.
We
it.
went
Big
to middle.
pussy.
I've known him for a long time. We
You guys went to middle school together?
We did.
Yeah, this is my crush in middle school too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. He made me feel very special.
Yeah. Hey, is Liz there? When you had to call people's houses. Hey,
Think about how scary
Hey.
that was back in the day when you had to call
it's
someone's
9
house.
o'clock. What the fuck?
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I would be so nervous if someone called my house after 9 or like 9:30. I'm like,
You didn't get your own
I
line?
mean, no, I try to
Gotta
get my
get
own
that
line every year.
second
Even when the
line.
dial-up with AOL and someone would be dialing up and I'd pick up the phone and my mom would be like, "Wow, you ruined it!" I would think that would have secured me
Nah.
another line, but it did not.
Nope.
You got like a special line in your school directory if you had your own line. It was really cool. Remember, I had your house number and then
Oh yeah.
oh god, it was the coolest
yeah.
thing.
We got that. I think we got a second line when like you didn't need it anymore. I was junior in high school or something.
Yeah, exactly. But no,
It's
I
like
never.
I need a cell phone now.
But think about that, how
That's-
scary that was. Calling a girl you like and having to like go through the parent,
Yeah.
border and then
Yeah.
you get to the person.
Yeah, you
Oh,
didn't have
we
to
didn't
go
have-
through that.
I don't even think we had a cordless phone either. So I had to like
Go
be
in the
tethered.
pantry.
You're in the
I
kitchen.
was tethered to the pigtail curly Q.
Oh, you're all wound up and
kitchen
nervous
one.
in
I'm
that
like
thing.
walking and pacing around.
That was
Hello.
planned.
Hey, is Liz there? Liz? All right, I think we're good.
What about my sweat
Go to
equity?
classicliz.com.
Sweat equity.
If you need to hire Liz
Sweat
or
equity.
ask her
My
questions.
sweat equity. my sweat equity?
Hit up our sponsors. Yeah, they actually work.
What?
Fresh Books, Warby Parker,
What about my sweat
Grasshopper
equity?
phone lines. Hit it up.